To help with writing our diary entries this week, we are going to be reminding ourselves about ISPACE. These are suggestions of sentence starters you can use to improve your sentences. I is for ing words. Smiling sweetly, she turned and walked away. S is for similes. Like the chocolates in the box, she vanished quickly. P is for prepositions. On top of the hill, the wolf stood and watched. A is for adverbs. Hurriedly, he snatched the ticket. C is for conjunctions. When he found his bone, the dog settled at the bottom of the stairs. And E is for ed words. Pleased with what he had done, he stood back and admired his work. Here we have a simple sentence that I would like to improve. I could see the lighthouse beaming across the water. I'm going to improve this sentence by choosing one of the sentence starter choices from ISPACE. As you can see, I've chosen to use a preposition. In the distance, I could see the lighthouse beaming across the water. This has added more information about where I would find the lighthouse. I've separated my preposition sentence starter from my main clause with a comma. Here is another example of a sentence that I could use in my diary entry that I would like to improve. My palms began to sweat around my suitcase handle. Let's see which one I'm going to go for. I have chosen to start with an ed clause. Frightened about what was to come, my palms began to sweat around my suitcase handle. I've thought about how I would feel if my palms were sweaty, and I've chosen an ed emotion to start my sentence. I've separated my sentence starter from my main clause with a comma. This week we could have also been recapping addition and subtraction using a column method. Here we have 4,527 add 6,392. To add these numbers, the first thing I need to do is lay them out correctly and neatly underneath each other, making sure that my columns are in line. We always start by adding the smallest column together. So I'm going to start with my ones. 7 add 2 gives me 9. I then move on to my tens column. 2 tens add 9 tens gives me 11 tens. I can't write 11 in one column, so I pop my 1 in the tens column and I move my 10 over to the hundreds, because 10 tens is the same as 100. I've made it nice and small and I've put it just underneath the hundreds column so I don't forget about it. In the hundreds column, I have 500 add 300. This gives me 800, but I need to remember to add my 100 at the bottom. So altogether I have 900. Finally, I need to add my thousands together. 4,000 add 6,000 gives me 10,000. I can't write both of those digits in the thousand column, so I put my 0 in my thousands and I move 10 thousands over. I put it as a 1 to start with underneath my tens of thousands, but there is nothing else in that column, so I simply lift it up. My final answer is 10,919. With subtraction, I start with exactly the same step. I put both of my numbers underneath each other neatly, making sure that my columns are in line. My question this time is 8,568 minus 4,729. I always start with my smallest column. So in my ones, it is asking me to do 8 take away 9. This is not possible, so I need to move over to my tens column. I'm going to take one of my tens and move it over to my ones. This means I have 5 tens left, so I cross out my 6 and I write 5. I move my 10 over to the ones column. This now becomes 18 take away 9. My answer would be 9. In my tens column, I now have 5 tens take away 2 tens, which would give me 3 tens. In my hundreds column, I have 500 take away 700. I can't do this, so I need to go over to my thousands column. I cross out 8,000 and this now becomes 7,000, and I carry over my 1,000 to the hundreds column. I now have 15 hundreds take away 700s, which gives me 8 hundredths. Finally, in my thousands column, I have 7,000, take away 4,000, which is 3,000. My final answer is 3,839.